That's the end of it.
Maxine's and Transit Police Officer John DeResta, now obviously part of the overall NYPD, and a comedian himself.
Thanks
you, Curtis. For coming on board.
Thank you. My show also reopens March 1st at the Kaufman Theater, just to let you know.
That's the one-man show that I saw.
Yes, Beat the Subway Cops Comedy will reopen March 1st at the Martin Kaufman Theater.
Where's that theater?
It's 42nd between 10th and 11th, Pat.
We're here in New York?
Yes, oh yes. The New York Times has already reviewed it, uproarious. Daily News, hottest ticket in town.
I want you to arrest people. Stop busting my holes.
Thank you. Well, I'm
arresting people and stop aggravating me.
I would like to say...
We all want to be comics. I got a butcher. I says, cut the veal cutlets. For crying out loud. He goes, he says, I got a great sense of humor. Cut the veal. Give me a pound of veal, pound it down. I got to have a nice veal cutlet sandwich. And he's going, you hear the one about the two? I don't want to hear it. Give me my veal. Here's your money. Everybody wants to be a comic.
Right.
It can't happen.
We're here to collect money for the Guardian Angels, not for John DeResta.
No, Johnny, I say that with love in my...
No, I know that.
I want you to go out tonight and wrap up a few guys. What's the difference?
Right.
And
open up some heads.
And this turn around very nice. Look, you want me to let you go? Yeah. $500, you'll have clams with Mr. Sliwa.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Sliwa.
Down at Sheepshead Bay.
I'd love to see him sucking a clam. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see him get that clam out of his thing and just go 1, 2, 3.
Or an oyster.
Well, but you know, that's interesting.
I'd like
Is a man willing to turn around and go to Lundy's and eat with you?
Right.
For $500. I didn't know. And hey, listen to me.
Or $250 if you want to stay in Manhattan.
No, those are cheapies. We want the biggies. We want the guys who go all the Lundy's and eat them clams and everything. And, you know, hey, this guy gets hungry.
Yes.
He can't afford Lundy's.
He's the hot dog king. Curtis, do you win
Did you
every
get it
year?
back?
That's right. In fact, John DeResta, when I saw him in his one-man performance at the Kaufman Theater, talked about walking the beat there, the train station at Stillwell Avenue, Coney Island, end of the line.
The world's playground.
That's right. That's where I compete annually in the Nathan's Dirty Water Hot Dog Eating Championship. I've been the third place finisher 3 years in a row. I just can't get over 16 Dirty Water Hot Dogs in 12 minutes.
Really? Well, they got that Pepsi gas at AC, 2 seats, AC, 4
Yeah.
They got more stuff now. I know. We never had options until you watch that damn television.
Well, 16
Everybody's
hot
got
dogs.
something. This is better than AC, BC, 2 seat, DC, DC. Take this in, you never break. I want to break.
Rolaids.
It's fun to break.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. Your stomach shifts over, otherwise you'll die. And they telling you don't want you to break. I want to break. My father always said, when the intestines work, you're healthy.
Yes.
The minute you start to jam, you're in big trouble.
Right.
So let the thing out. Whatever it is.
Either way, either end.
Doesn't matter. Under the armpits, through the nose, in the ears. Let it out.
Right.
Because if it stays there, you start to go walk, 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 walk,
Right.
walk. We don't need that. And years ago, when I said it on the Kona brand, you don't crossbreed food.
Right.
Italians eat pasta.
Right.
Chinese eat egg rolls.
I saw that.
The minute an egg roll turns around and goes on an Italian, he goes, what the hell is that coming down here?
Right.
We want procleraba. We want pasta. Give the Chinese the rice. They're nice people. Give the
Egg
tacos
rolls.
to the Mexicans.
Right.
If I ever ate, if I ate a taco, my stomach would go, what the hell is that?
Right.
What is that coming down here? Are you sick?
Right.
You're a barese. You're a novelidon. Stupid. Eat that. My father never said, let's go for some Chinese food. Never.
No.
We never had it.
Taco Bell, you never went?
There was no taco. The only bell we had was from downstairs. Aunt Teresa go, I'm down here. Can I come up? That was the bell. Today we got everything is fast food, small food, everything. Years ago you sat down with the family. You ate. You digested. You burst.
Spaghetti.
You went. It was great.
Bowl of spaghetti.
But those days are gone. That's why you got the peptic acid.
Right.
Peptic acid.
Rolaids.
That's why you got that. Trust what I tell you.
Well, let me tell you, right now, John DeResta, police officer and comedian, and Pat Cooper, comedian extraordinaire, Guardian Angels are in need of that kind of home where they can actually sit down and have a meal as they're working 24/7. You can make a contribution to that building effort by calling 1-800-848-WABC, or if you have any of those foodstuffs or the canned foods of which Pat Cooper and John DeResta were describing, we could use that. You can use a laptop computer for the Cyber Angels program where we vet out. And also, if anybody has any printing for lots of information that we give out at community organizational meetings and training people to defend themselves in the streets and being street smart and not becoming a potential future victim of crime. 1-800-848-WABC. If you'd like to call on the local number, do so. If the 800 number is jammed, 212-268-5730 or at 212-268-9222. And when we return, gentlemen, George Weber, streetside reporter and talk show host, is out there in the streets of New York City patrolling with the Guardian Angels. He'll give us a live update. Make those phones sing and ring at 1-800-848-WABC. It's 12:13. John DeResta, police officer, but also comedian with a one-man show.
Thank you.
Reopening March 1st at the Kaufman Theater on 10th Avenue off 42nd Street, and naturally comedian extraordinaire, headliner all throughout the United States. And naturally here on Madison Avenue, just came from the club at Pat?
Maxime's, 61st and Madison.
Why can't I?
Saturday night's my last night.
Very good, Pat Cooper. But let's quickly go for an update because George Weber, our street side reporter from the morning program, The Gallagher Show, is out there on patrol with the Guardian Angels in the Times Square area. George, where are you now?
Well, I'm standing in the second floor of your headquarters here, Curtis. Gentlemen, let me just... I've been looking around. Curtis, no offense to you or the Guardian Angels, but this place is a dump.
What do you mean it's a dump?
It has. I'm not even going to describe the stench that exists in
But
here.
that's why we need $100,000 so we can not make it a dump.
I'll tell you, Pat. I'll tell you. Do you ever clean these hats? They have them up like trophies on the wall. Each hat has a name attached to it. And so they come back, they put their hat here. Oh, wait, Curtis, what do you do? They let them sit there for what, months?
Well,
years?
you have the berets.
You need a washing machine. My God, what the hell are we raising money for a building for?
But also, if you notice, if you look to the right-hand side, though, there's a Hall of Fame. People don't realize this, Pat Cooper and John DeResta. There have been 5 Guardian Angels who have been killed in the line of duty.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really?
I had no idea.
Yeah, so you see those 5 berets there representing some of the young men who have dared to care in New York City, in Newark, in Los Angeles, up in Yonkers, who have actually been killed in the line of duty, coming to the aid of citizens who are being
horrible.
attacked.
Yeah, I just looked at those. I was looking at the other hats, the dirty ones on the left-hand side of the door there. But 3 big rooms here. You've got the front office. You've got this room, which is kind of the meeting area where they've got some old beat-up couches, a leather couch, which I think dates back to the 1930s. We've got... I mean, Curtis, what do you get these couches? What do you do? Go out with the garbage collectors one morning and pick these up?
Well,
that's Mongo.
This place, people, I can't tell you how much they need money.
Are you living there now?
we operate 24 hours a day out of there.
Out of that building?
Yes, Pat Cooper.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. That's our home right now.
Pat, have you been over here?
Are you crazy?
My God.
I got trouble being on 7th Avenue and 33rd Street. What the hell am I going to do on, what's it, 10th Avenue?
No, 8th Avenue and 46th Street.
Oh, you're right in the air, a lot of lights. How do you stay warm at night? How do you stay warm at night? You must be freezing your gagootzes off there.
The neon lights keep you nice and...
wow, what a
nice
country.
and toasty.
Yeah. Wow.
These walls look like they haven't been painted in about 25 years. The floors are practically rotting through. We're going to fall into the guy in the adult bookstore below. Let's just say, hey, guys, can we just, start jumping on this just to see?
Can I tell you something? This is the kind of publicity you need to get the money. They're all going to be scared of it. We'll have to kill you for crying out loud.
This will really freak the guy out. Hang on.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
George, you're going to fall into a buddy booth.
What are you going to do? Fix you? My God. All right. I just have to put out the plea. 1-800-848-WABC, 268-5730, area code 212, because these guys really need a lot of help. They've been doing this for 18 years, and this is the best you can do?
Well, George, you were a doubting Thomas. You had to go see for yourself the conditions in which the Guardian Angels have to operate under here in New York City.
Certainly not like the palatial estate that Pat Cooper lives in.
Oh, no, but I got no seat. I don't have the hats.
Well, actually, if you move out of here, this would make a lovely loft.
I got no seat. Maybe they should flatten and we'll get some guys with bricks and build a brand... It's probably cheaper to build a brand new building. Listen to me. Let's go for $1 million and we'll settle for $100,000.
Yeah.
That's how you go.
These guys are great, and...
they're the best.
Yeah, they really are, and they come in here day in and day out, and they don't think about, the kind of place they're in here. It really is. It's cozy. It's comfortable. But it certainly, you could do a lot better than this. So
would you do me a favor, George, and take a walk down into the 50s at one of the sites that the city is making available to us, the cinder-blocked up abandoned building, so you can give people an idea of what they'll be contributing to as we try to rehab the building and turn it into a Guardian Angel Community Center, open 24 hours a day to all, and particularly to keep the kids away from the gangs, to keep them away from the drugs, and keep them away from a violent way of life in the streets.
Well, you have a great vision, Curtis, and certainly with people's donation, I think it's going to help a lot, and we're going to be heading down to one of those buildings that you're eyeing, and we'll take a look at it for you.
As George Weber goes out with the Guardian Angels on patrol, led by Panther, our numbers, if you'd like to help in our effort to get a home of our own. George Weber going to one of the sites that the city is making available. If we can raise $100,000 to get the building up to code and make it operational, you can help in that effort by donating money, whether by check, by money order, by sending good old-fashioned cash ducats, greenbacks, big ones, or by putting it on your credit card charge, 212-268-9222, 212-268-5730, or the tried and true traditional number here, 1-800-848-WABC. That's 1-800-848-WABC. It's 1222.
The WABC Morning Show with Mike Gallagher.
Think about your kids. If you were accused of a crime, how would you like people saying, oh, your daddy's a killer?
Let me tell you, Cynthia, those kids are so screwed up now that there's nothing that you can do to them to make them even nuttier.
Yeah, and if you send them to the Browns, they're not better than O.J.
Oh, sure they are. At least they didn't kill it. The Browns didn't kill anybody.
They didn't kill anybody, but they're not better than O.J.
Mike Gallagher and the WABC Morning Team. 5:30 till 10 on News Talk Radio 77 WABC.
And the pledges are pouring in at 1223. Marion Courtjohn of Ridgewood, New Jersey, donates $75. Jan and Pauline Haikowski of Forest Hills, they donate $18, saying 18, a very lucky number, as part of a Jewish custom. The Gordon brothers, once again, saying they keep getting younger. They're contributing another $100. They're from the heart of Brooklyn, went to Lafayette High School, all the brothers graduating there. And Michael Amamowitz of Alexandria, Virginia, that far away, being heard, the 50,000 powerful watts of sound, he donates $10. He's a former New Yorker. Meantime, though, some of you who are considering home health care, particularly if you're aging, particularly if you can't make it to a doctor or to any kind of hospital care and are in need of good home health care, why not look into New Age Home Care? They can provide infusion services, diabetic, asthma, ostomy, wound care supplies, oral medications, and they can do it same day or overnight through the deliveries available. New Age Home Care is Medicaid, ADAP, and Medicare Part B certified agency. Most insurance plans accepted. All you have to do is call 1-800-382-0618 today for a free consultation by a registered nurse or pharmacist. Call 1-800-382-0618 today. All of their services are available 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. That's 1-800-382-0618. Discover the new age of home health care, licensed by the New York State Department of Health and Board of Pharmacy.
News Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Back by popular demand, the Dream Fur Sale is going on now, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. through Monday night at the Park Central Hotel and the Meadowlands Hilton. Andriana Furs has brought together 14 fur manufacturers from the U.S. and Canada for the biggest fur event of the year. Over 4,000 of the finest new designer and classic fur coats at unbelievably low prices with instant on-the-spot financing available. Feel the warmth of a gorgeous Canadian beaver coat for only $8.95 or $35 a month, or a beautiful $9,000 designer directional coat only $24.95. Indulge in a $60,000 Russian sable coat for only $20,000. Slip into elegant Lynx, Fisher, and much, much more right now in the ballroom of the Park Central Hotel, 7th Avenue at 56th Street, Manhattan, and in the exhibit center of the Meadowlands Hilton, Harmon Plaza in Secaucus. But this sale ends Monday night at 8 and will not be repeated. So hurry. This is the only Dream Fur Sale of the year.
1226. This man has been a headliner all throughout the United States in almost every major venue, Pat Cooper, and yet, extraordinarily recently, this guy's not in the stretch limo. He's not doing the trendoid or freakazoid routine. I saw you on the platform there, 14th Street, 7th Avenue.
I go by train. No one's going to chase me into the subway.
And
nobody.
We came up on him, myself and another guardian angel, and you told us, I ain't taking gobbledygook from anybody here in this town.
No, why should I? I don't hurt anybody. I'm a gentleman. Anybody makes a bully a motion to me, I got to stand. And if I can't, I'd rather be dead. And that sounds like maybe a Braviosko. It isn't. I'd rather be dead if I got to lose my dignity and my character.
Well, that's the kind of attitude that guys and gals growing up in Brooklyn have had their entire lives. I grew up in Brownsville, East New York, Canarsie, and I know you grew up Carroll Gardens. Right near the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, right?
But the name of the thing is to be a gentleman.
Yes.
Not to go out and bully people. I was always learned to be a gentleman.
Respect.
You never raise your hands to anybody, and if a policeman walked over and said, move, you move. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. You took your hat off in the elevator, a woman walked in. You know, today everybody's trying to bully somebody. See that Dennis Rodman? He knows who to hit. He knows who to hit.
Yep.
If someone stood up to him, this guy ain't going to hit back. Because they bullies. Instead of being a gentleman, he's an idol. He'd be an idol of the youngsters and say, wow, look at this here. But they go around punching people and telling them I can get away with it. No. He knows who to hit. They call them telephone tough guys. Guys, guy could be in Detroit. If I was that, I'd kill you. Sure, you're in Detroit.
Hold me back.
Anyway, but you got to take it easy and be nice and do the best you can. And it's not a black and white thing or a yellow and green thing. It's not that. I tell everybody, we're American Italians. I don't want to hear about I'm an African American. You're born in this country. It's American African.
Right.
Let's cut the crap out.
Yeah.
I'm sick of that nonsense. I'm sick of that nonsense.
Beautiful.
And I say it, and I say it, and I say it with respect. No one person handles the black culture. No one person handles the Italian culture. Why do these people go up there and say, I represent you? Who voted to you?
Right.
Who told Farragut you represent? Who told Sharpton you represent? Who told Jesse Jackson you represent? Who? Explain to me so I can turn around and say, who voted you in? All of a sudden, this guy becomes a preacher. He holds the Bible, I'm a preacher.
Yeah.
I hold a Bible, they go, what are you doing? You stole it?
Yeah, he stole it from a hotel. Motel 6.
Come on, we're great Americans. We got a great country. Let's cut the nonsense out.
Beautiful.
All right, well, Pat Cooper, who came over here after working his club date there on Madison Avenue, and Max seems you'll be there one more night tomorrow night.
Tomorrow it's the coup de grace.
Saturday, and he's come in to contribute his effort to help the Guardian Angels get a home of our own. If you'd like to make a contribution in honor of Pat Cooper, who has entertained so many throughout the generations, my own Aunt Mary, 83 years just last week there in Howard Beach in the basement, has all of your records.
Lot of class.
And plays those stacks of wax and laughs to those
Italian
jokes
wedding.
to this day. Exactly, classicos as we would call them. If you'd like to make a contribution in honor of Pat Cooper, do so to 1-800-848-WABC. That's 1-800-848-WABC. We'll continue on with Police Officer John DeResta, a comedian in his own right. And Pat Cooper, just a million thanks to all that you've been able to do for us and for the voice that you provided over all these ages. Remember when Pat Cooper was growing up in Brooklyn, and when I was growing up in Brooklyn, you left your front doors open, the windows open, slept on the fire escape, slept on the roof. It was a different quality of life. In fact, you could get on a subway that was patrolled a few years ago by then transit police officer John DeResta. And there were no transit cops back then because you didn't need cops on the subway. You'd fall asleep and everything would be in your pockets. You'd all of a sudden pass your stop, and maybe at the end of the line, a good Samaritan or the motorman or conductor would wake you up. And you say, oh, I fell asleep. Never worrying that somebody might come and slit your throat from ear to ear, slice your pockets, and rob you of every nickel, dime, and penny you have. That's why you have to support the Guardian Angel effort. Anti-young people becoming thugs, positive role models, anti-drug campaigns that Guardian Angels have performed for the past 18 years, and the performance of trying to preach about peace through the role model effect of not carrying weapons and not being thugs. Make your contribution now for a building of our own for the Guardian Angels. 1-800-848-WABC. That's 1-800-848-WABC.
From the worldwide resources of ABC News, with news on the half hour, on the hour, and when it breaks.
News Talk Radio 77. WABC.
New York.
$25 for my lovely wife, Fran, who's home listening now with the kids.
And by the way, how many children do you have, John?
I have three.
And remember, this is a New York City police officer, 10 years experience, who is in need of an increase, like a lot of the cops out there.
Yes. Donate to John DeResta. After we get the 100,000, we'll...
Now, how did you all of a sudden move in the direction of comedy? Because I got to tell you, a lot of cops, when they were stuck in the hole, the subway, they didn't have a funny bone left in their body.
Right. Oh, no, well, I turned it around. Some of the funny things I saw, I started writing down, jotting down, maybe a book one day, and started telling some of the stories, and people said, hey, this sounds like it'd be worthy of a stand-up act. Mm-hmm. And that was about 5 years ago.
Yes.
Turned it into this one-person show about 6 months ago, and it's been... uphill ever since. Just came back from L.A., actually.
Yes.
Looking to maybe turn it into a TV and/or movie. But,
well, let me tell you, I've had an opportunity to see you in that one-man show at the Kaufman Theater off 10th Avenue and 42nd Street, right near the precinct there. And you remind me from time to time, your facial expressions, your body movements, your mannerisms, like Jackie Gleason. You definitely have what it takes. Just a look from you actually makes the audience laugh.
Thank you, Curtis.
It generally takes a comedian, a roll or two, a word strung together. Just a look from you, and bingo, people are laughing their stomachs off.
Yes, thank you. It was that's a lot of lonely nights again on the train. You know, looking in the shiny glass mirror, practicing my facial expressions and a la Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey said he had a lonely time alone as a kid.
Yes.
And that's how he became very,
Yeah, but Stillwell Avenue, that's where cops generally get sent when either they've been bad in
that's
certain precincts.
right, that's an NYPD. You mean a la dumping ground?
Yes.
60 precinct.
3 pairs of long underwear
Right, yes.
in the wintertime.
Yes.
But what was it like there out there on Stillwell Avenue in the winter?
It was lonely, cold, miserable, but I made the best of it.
And you have since, though, been assigned to the homeless detail.
I just started my 6th year in the homeless outreach unit,
and
which I like.
What does that involve?
All voluntary. We almost like social work. We go down the subways, take our clients. If they would like to go to the shelter, it's we feed them. It's all voluntary, and it's nice to do some good work.
But you've also obviously met some characters down there in your life.
You ain't kidding. Yeah, we go down in the subway, down between stops. We go down like in the pitch black darkness where they live down there.
So in literally the areas where the tracks are.
With the roadbed, the wide areas. Yeah, they're down there. Some of them have TV hooked up.
TV?
Yes. We were down in Coney Island one night. We had guys. They were watching Officer and a Gentleman to a VCR.
Officer
TV.
and a Gentleman.
Yeah. Yeah, they had it all hooked up down at Stillwell Avenue.
Now, do you run across some of the same characters over and over again?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. There's quite a few that are regulars. The ones that get in our bus or our van, homeless van, are regulars. They're very territorial. I'm sure you know, you're down in the subway pretty often.
Oh, yeah, but as people will generally choose 4-star hotels, 3-star hotels.
Oh, yeah.
How do they choose various lines and places to live or to habitate or to move about?
I don't know. That's a good question. Some of them, as you know, will stay under the Coney Island Boardwalk. Some homeless people like Central Park. I don't know. I don't know how you would go about choosing it, but they find a niche. They feel safe.
And what about women in the park? Women who actually live in the subways.
Remember they used to call them bag ladies?
Sure.
Right. Now they're undomiciled. Now there's many more men though. I'd say 1 out of 20 is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are men. You know, chemically addicted. Some of them are known to be alcoholics. But I like the unit. It's good to do some good work.
Well, let me tell you right now, we've got some more donations that have come in from Glenn Nocera, president of the Brooklyn College Young Republicans. He's donating $30. Then Father Ray Balduff, who is making a $25 contribution. Most appreciative. Those of you who'd like to make your own pledge to the Guardian Angel Building Fund, this is our 18th anniversary, a time to finally get a home of our own in which the Guardian Angels won't have to move about nomadically from community to community as we fight against the problems of gang violence, of drugs, of juvenile delinquency by providing positive role model alternatives, leadership and skills development, and most importantly, an attitude that says that one can take responsibility for the actions that are taking place in your neighborhood by going out there and providing good service, being a good, selfless servant. 1-800-848-WABC is the way to make your pledge. $5, $10, $15, $25, $50, $100, $500 or more. In fact, for $250, you get a chance to literally have lunch with yours truly, Curtis Sliwa, at the place where I've won the World Pickle Eating Championship 2 years in a row. The Carnegie Deli, right there on 55th Street and 7th Avenue. In fact, the management there and Sandy Levine, the owner-operator, have said for any of the 12 listeners who can donate $250, you'll get a chance to sit down to a Carnegie Deli spread with Curtis Sliwa. And at my favorite all-time dining establishment out in Brooklyn, where I'm from originally, the Canarsie section, not far away down the Belt Parkway, in the shadow of Coney Island, where John DeRest, the police officer, was busting his shoes for over 10 years of service in the department. Lundy's. That's right, reopened. Used to be the world's largest pigeon coop. It was itself an abandoned building until it was refurbished and rehabbed, and suddenly it's prominently open once again. The clam chowder, the biscuits, the pies. You can have a full meal. $500 it'll cost, and yours truly, Curtis Lee, will be sitting side by side with you. That'll be the contribution that you make to the Guardian Angels Building Fund. So make those phones sing and ring at 212-268-9222. That's 212-268-9222 or 212-268-5730 or 1-800-848-WABC. And remember, if you can't get through on the lines, just write out a check to ANGELTHON. Send it to 982 East 89th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. So where are you right now, George?
Well, we have wrapped up our little tour here, and I'm down at the Garden, Madison Square Garden, getting done on patrol with these guys, and a great group of people. And we're going to yak with them here in just a second, but I can already tell that you've been on the air way too long, Curtis. You called it the George Gallagher Morning Show.
Well, it's a combination of Peter Reef, George Weber, Mike Gallagher, now Penny Crone. It's very cluttered.
Every day it's getting more and more confusing on that morning show.
Yes.
But anyhow, we're having a lot of fun out here. Got a chance to look at a prospective building that you might move into if we can raise enough funds for that. Got a chance to look at the dump that you're currently in, and but it needs a lot of work, and certainly we can do a lot better with contributions coming from our great listeners. But I want you to meet some people. This guy was just telling me a really sad story, a really pitiful February 14th Valentine's Day story. What's your deal? What happened on Valentine's Day?
Well, my wife left me when I got back from a 6-month tour from the Navy.
He's one of your guardian angels, by the way. What's your name?
Blade.
All right, Blade. All right, and she left you after a 6-month tour in the Navy. You get back, she dumps you.
Right. She leaves me a Dear John letter saying that she found somebody else better.
And this happened on what day?
Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Oh, that's so tragic. Even more of a reason to give money to the guardian angels, so we can help sad saps like this fellow right here. That's so sad. And again, you can use that telephone number 1-800-848-WABC and get Blade a date.
Now, wait a second. Are you trying to say he's a loser at love? He's romantically challenged, George Weber?
Yes, Curtis. He may be romantically challenged, but he's great on patrol. And it's just amazing to watch how your angels here work and how they're constantly looking over each other's back. And I wanted to point out one thing I noticed in your fort, in your headquarters building, and that is, on a serious note, the very strict rules and guidelines that these angels really have to abide by. Everything, I mean, down to just the very nitty-gritty small things that you don't think about, like dissing each other, calling each other names, being derogatory, and not getting involved in that kind of thing. And you really run a really clean, tight shop here, and I think you ought to be commended and congratulated for that.
Well, thank you very much, George Weber, and it's good that you took the time to go out and see for yourself, because there's often confusion. People don't quite understand what exactly the volunteer guardian angels do when they're out in the streets or in the subways or in their headquarters or providing the other community services. And it's good to have somebody who approached it somewhat jadedly, but you had a chance to see for yourself.
I did, and I appreciate you giving me that opportunity. And call in and help these guys out. It's a great organization, ever-expanding organization, I might add, and certainly a great asset to this city and many cities around the country, Curtis.
By the way, keep talking, because for every minute you're on, you owe us $1 here for the Guardian Angel Building Fund.
I think I'm going to up that a little bit. And by the way, I just want to say hi to some of the other angels here. What's your name? You have to talk. It's radio. It's not TV.
Blaze.
That's Blaze, not to be confused with Blade. What's your name?
Woman.
Woo-Man. Are you giving them these names, Curtis?
No, these are names that they choose for themselves, or if they can't choose a name for themselves, the members of the patrol eventually come up with something that they think sort of fits their personality.
I feel like I'm on tour with the American Gladiators.
Yes.
All right, what's your name? Justice. Justice.
Yes.
You see, now that's a cool name. And I keep on calling one of your ringleaders here, like Tiger, Scorpion, what the heck is it? Panther. Okay, right. All right, well, anyhow, you got a good group of people here, and I know the clock is ticking away, and you probably don't want me to stop, because that just means more money for you. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to write you a check for $100.
Well, thank you, George Weber.
Georgie boy.
I am going to also get the rest of the morning show to write checks that are much larger than that.
Are they aware of this at this point? The generous offer you're making on their behalf?
No, they're not, Curtis. But that's okay. They're big time celebrities, and I'm sure they can come up with a couple of bucks. But I'll do some arm twisting, pass around one of your berets.
Well, figure right now there's Peter Reef, there's Mike Gallagher, Penny Crone has just joined you, there's you, George Weber. In a few weeks there could be 6, 7, 8 or more. Boy, this can actually help us develop quite the building fund.
Yes, it is New York City's largest morning show.
Came to New York City from Vancouver, British Columbia, That's why we need headquarters, because there are men and women all over the world who want to come to New York City, where it all started 18 years ago, to get their training so that they can then go back to their communities, develop Guardian Angel patrols so that they can implement the anti-gang, the anti-drug, the anti-violence programs, to do what Pete Kozo has just described and put in placement into their schools, the school leadership and life skills development, develop their own bicycle and rollerblade patrols. But it all starts in New York City, because whatever works here in New York City, the birthplace of the Guardian Angels, can then expand to as far away as Berlin in Germany and Tokyo in Japan. And you got a chance to see it not only in Denver, but also San Francisco, where you're also broadcasting. Damn it, everywhere you've been, there's virtually been Guardian Angels.
Yeah, I know. And it's a great comfort, too, to be able to, unfortunately in this business, I guess, work in so many great cities and in so many places, and wherever you go, see the red beret presence of the Guardian Angels. It's a very comforting thing, and certainly those who have been around the country and been around the world note that presence. And in a big city like New York, you can sometimes be lost in the shuffle, because quite frankly, in the Guardian Angels here in town, it's not a massive amount of people that are involved in it, but when they are out, they're very visible. And it just seems to me that it's one of those things that I'd like to see expanded personally, and I'd certainly like you to fix up that Fort, the dump.
Fort Apache, 46th Street, 8th Avenue. If you have a chance and you're strolling along 8th Avenue, you'll see it between 46th and 47th Street, above a XXX rated video parlor. That should be no home for the Guardian Angels. We obviously deserve better than that, particularly for the young lady who are Guardian Angels or hoping to be Guardian Angels. Imagine what it must be like, how traumatic for them to have to pass this facility on their way up the stairs to the second story.
Oh, baloney, they could beat me up.
Well, George, you know, there's hope for you yet. Maybe yuppie Guardian
That's
Angels
right.
with little eyes odds there.